To the show where three generations of family go head to head on a variety of topics. We got one Gen Zer, Chris.
Yes, ma'am.
One millennial, Noe. And one BDB, the baby boomer from Brooklyn,
Big Mark Thunder.
No matter what the topic may be, you better believe that it'll be up for debate. Let's go to social media. TikTok, they had a whole expose on TikTok saying how because that's a Chinese app. Oh,
seems like it.
Yeah. Huh?
Seems like it. Yeah.
Yep.
The amount of information that they can get from just your TikTok is insane.
Which is why I don't have.
I never downloaded it.
I do. And I downloaded it after I saw that expose. See?
Delete my number.
They got facial recognition and everything. You can walk down the street and you can just be. They know exactly who you are, how much you make, what your name is, where you live, all of that.
That's a lot.
This has been going on for years. The addictive algorithms that were created for these apps. It's been going on for years, but somehow, for whatever reason, this timing on now being proactive on it is not really proactive, because it's been going on for over a decade probably now.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Starting with Facebook. Facebook has been going through this. Then Instagram happened. That's been going. They just now gave Instagram the ability to turn off the likes, because there was a direct link between people's likes and their self-esteem. This has been going on for a while now.
And you knew all of this. You was privy to all of this and didn't say nothing.
I've told you this on multiple occasions, actually.
There was an article that came out that linked mental health and depression with teenagers to social media and their interactions on social media.
Yeah.
It's not even surprising.
But there was another one that came out earlier this year about mental health and how social media and the effects of it there is basically a direct link between the two.
I put any amount of money on it that there are articles dating far back from now that are saying the same thing.
I don't doubt it.
That's what I'm saying. I think what media does is very specific. Like, it's very calculated, because the timing on this is so weird. This has been going on. Why now is it such a big push to change things or shed a light on it?
Well, this whistleblower that came out, she's just like, they knew the ramifications of what would happen, especially when it came down to the Russia hacks for the presidential campaign, how they knew and they downplayed it. Facebook in particular, they downplayed it, even though Congress is like, hey, what's going on? You don't see this? But this whistleblower, I hope she got good security, because I'm sure the powers that be don't like the fact that she is testifying before Congress, telling all their little business.
Powers that be being who specifically?
Huh?
You said the powers that be? Like, you mean like the executives of the companies, or like political people?
The executives of the company that she's throwing under the bus.
Okay, yeah.
You don't think that they wouldn't like what she was saying?
I mean, I think the timing is good now, just because, one, you've had the documentary. I think you had one of the executives from Instagram recently. The one on Netflix.
I still haven't watched it. I'm the only one that didn't watch it. I gotta watch it.
And so you definitely have to watch that. So you have that documentary that came out. Then you have this. I feel like there's been quite a few documentaries on this that have come out. But then you had the executive from Instagram who was recently on the Breakfast Club talking. And then I just feel like it's perfect time. And I think this whole thing with Facebook recently and Zuckerberg losing, 8-9 billion in 6 hours, and because Facebook went down, WhatsApp was down, Instagram was down. And it's just kind of one of those things where Mark Zuckerberg owns everything. Facebook owns everything. They put everybody out of business, and it's social media. Social media is almost like your sodas. It's Pepsi versus Coke, and two brands own everything.
Yep.
So it's
like
kind of like,
Amazon.
yeah. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, is that actually a good thing, or do we probably need to start breaking this up a little bit? If two companies own almost all of social media, then that's a lot of access for just
That's a lot of power. That's
Yeah.
a lot of power.
That's-
Because if you think about it, media, as the way we used to see it, is gone.
Right.
Now, people really don't have, like Chris don't even have a TV in his room. I don't understand how he do it. But people don't have cable. I mean, I think we one of the last of the Mohicans with actual cable. But everybody's streaming, or everybody's, just going to social media or going to YouTube to find whatever they need to find. So YouTube is its own entity right now, but it was purchased by Google a few years ago. But then you have Facebook, who was its own entity, and they was just like, Instagram, I'll take that. What's that?
Yeah, people got to hold on to
Take
this
that
stuff
too.
too.
Huh?
Got to hold on to it, man. Like, I understand you want to sell because they're going to offer you billions of dollars, but you gotta hold on to it. Like, there's a reason why he wants it. You're the competition.
You gotta compete, man.
Like, you can't. I feel like everybody's always like, "Oh, let's go in the park and we can beat this and that. Oh, we're gonna get $5 billion." There's a reason why he's going to give you $5 billion or $6 billion for your company.
He's gonna make 60 billion.
Like, it's, I don't know. I remember when I actually watched the movie on Mark Zuckerberg. What is it? The Social Media, the Social Network, or something like that.
Yeah, the Social Network.
And I actually stopped. I don't use Facebook as much now as I did. And it's really because of the movie. Because just when I watched the movie, I was like, I didn't really like the way that whole thing went down and how he came about Facebook and how he created it. It was just like, it just seemed so shady. I mean, there's really no other way to put it.
You think they took them ideas from a brother, don't you?
No, he took it from those other dudes at Harvard.
No, and I know. I think them other dudes got it from Tyrone.
That's
I mean, it is possible, but it just seems so whack and so shady, man. Like, it was just something where I was kind of like, I don't really know if I really want to be a part of this, but family and friends and people who you haven't seen in years are on there and you can connect with them.
That's the only reason I keep it.
It serves that purpose. But other than that, like, if it was just its own, like, yeah, just go in there to hang out with it, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't even have it, to be honest.
Nah.
Honestly, if I didn't have a business, it's hard enough for me now to do that, them daily posts and all that stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, I got to wait. I got to create content on a like,
Yeah, I mean, even think about what social media has even evolved into since it was birthed. Like, it started out as literally just going on sites and sending messages to your friends and family or whatever, or IMing people or whatever. But now it's literally turned into e-commerce.
Exactly.
People literally just use social media to sell themselves or their products.
I purchased plenty of things from ads I seen.
It's all brand management.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something, and this is my own opinion as the BDB of the group.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
These mofos from Silicon Valley who were teased, who were cast aside, who were not, welcomed into the in crowd as a kid, that have gone to Silicon Valley and that have created these apps to create a new world order and to literally have Armageddon. or the Book of Eli.
Where even is Silicon Valley? Is that in California?
Yes.
Mhm. Is it San Francisco or something like that? Somewhere up there.
No, I think San Francisco.
Right down that soft. I listen. These people is over here trying to. I'm telling you. Now, this is my own conspiracy theory. Nobody told me this, but I'm just thinking of everybody that's in Silicon Valley. Now, there's people that have gone there, and we're not there a lot. They don't really let us in like that. We gotta break down walls and stuff to get over there. But the majority of people over there is Caucasian, Middle Eastern, and Asian. East Asian.
Speaking of, do you ever find it weird that Eastern cultures assimilate to white culture when they come over here?
Yo, I was just about to say that.
They assimilate to white culture over there.
Nah, but you get what I'm trying to say, though,
Listen
right?
to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. My friends that I have had that either are one of the countries like Pakistan or one of those,
Mhm.
they bleach their skin. They don't want to be dark. They bleach skin in China, in Japan. That's big business. If you're not the lighter of the light over there, and don't be a woman. Don't get me started. It's real. It's a new world order. And it started from these Silicon Valley people that's probably watching me now on Zoom, having all kinds of people take different shots of my face so they know me from every angle.
Eagle Eye that messed you up, yo.
You right. Listen, but it look what's happening.
I've been saying this.
You got people out here that be ready to crucify somebody on social media because they did something that they didn't like. Like my boy Dave, right? They ready to hang him up by his cigarettes. But then one of the ones that led the walkout at Netflix, some old social media tweets or some posts came out that they had put out that was very
Oh, really?
Guess what? Now they canceled. Bloop.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
You see what happens when you try? And see, this is the power of social media. Once you get like an engine behind you and you want to push that narrative,
that's so dangerous, though.
It is.
Such a dangerous thing.
You got people having social media beefs that actually spill out onto the street. Did you see that boy in the Bronx? He was 12. They had him on camera carrying a gat because he had beef with somebody on Instagram or TikTok. One of them, Snapchat, I don't know.
Can't get embarrassed on social media.
Yes, and he had the gun and went to the park and shot the boy point blank range. Now, granted, he wasn't a good shot, so it only went into his leg, went in and right out. So the boy is fine. But now
That's
that little
hard.
boy, the little boy's mother turned him in.
That's
good.
Crazy.
Good, right?
Think about who he's gonna grow up to be.
And this is why I am so afraid for our kids.
You put him in there with R. Kelly. You out here want to shoot people. Show you what it's really like.
Morbid. Morbid.
What you said, Chris, yesterday? You make a right on now.
No,
you make a left on
no. This is not no.
You go to a green light.
No.
That's all you can go.
Cannot follow stories about 12-year-olds with R. Kelly. That's not okay.
Look, you want to be out here shooting people in the park.
And you see him on the street and he looked like he's battling with himself. He's like he's trying to really puff up himself to do it.
He probably turned around and was just like, yo, y'all got the camera ready, right? Make sure you have the camera ready.
No, he got the camera from the street.
He was outside looking up.
And see, this is the problem with kids nowadays because y'all are slow enough to think that you can commit crimes and then be on social media, be like, yeah, holding your chains, knowing that's the chain you got from.
That's the
And then you
weird
got
part.
FBI watching you, and they just come knock on your door. Come on, you can't even run.
But here's the thing: that behavior is so common amongst youth at this point that you can't really blame it on them at this point.
I told you
That's a behavior that was basically created by social media.
I agree. No, well,
the
no.
longing for attention.
Well, yeah.
Addiction to attention,
to
essentially.
real stupid.
Yeah.
Somebody get fired on your day off.
Because
right?
that's just
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's just
one of my favorite Denzel movies, American Gangster, right? When they finally got him, because the stupid cousin, he couldn't stay off that white sugar, and they got him, and then he snitched and brought down a whole empire. You know, that's a different story because where Frank's money? Where Frank's money? U.S. How come the Kennedys and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds can have where's Frank's money? Where's Bumpy Johnson's money, huh? But anyway, but yeah, when they came and knocked on the door, when they did the siege, and they went to the front door, and he went to run, and then they was at the back. When the FBI come to these mofos' door, they don't even run. They just be like,
word.
Cause you literally are on camera.
You're on your own camera.
That's how they got the majority of the patriots that sieged the Capitol on January 6th.
Oh, like the idiot who was taking pictures sitting in the woman's office and all this extra stuff with mail, and people were like, yo, that's federal mail that you are sitting on and opening and looking at. That's jail time, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Some of them did interviews with the news people outside. You know,
it's like, yeah, we're about to go through this door right here on the east wing. Make sure you guys over. It's like, what? Like, okay.
My name is Robert.
Yes, the one that said that they maced her, she gave her name and where she was from. I know she was from Tennessee, but she gave her name and she said they pushed me out and maced me. She was crying. But she said, what's the word that they use?
It burns.
No, she was just like,
take 20 minutes.
It's a revolution. It's a revolution.
Oh, please, these people in the revolution.
They were radicalized by social media.
It's crazy.
And Trump's pre-game speech.
The pre-game speech is hilarious.
Exactly. And then they was looking at Twitter to see, did he say anything? Like they had video of people saying, did he say anything? Did he post yet? Because they was waiting for instructions from this dude. And here you go, them people in the offices, you know, on a computer, FBI, they was like, okay, that's him. Okay, send a car out for that one. Okay. All right, that one. Okay, 2 blocks up. Okay, you got him? Okay. No, not warrant. Okay. Send a couple cop cars for that one. Okay. They got people was pleading guilty. Some was saying I did this at the behest of the president. They threw him under the bus.
Bro actually said that?
Oh yeah.
We're asked to do this.
Crazy.
The one that had the shaman, he was the shaman. He called himself the shaman.
That's hard.
That had on, he had no shirt on in the middle of winter.
With the bear joint?
Yeah, he had no shirt in the middle of winter.
They be on a vibe.
They arrested him, and his mother came out saying that it was unfair how they were treating his son because he is a vegan and they don't have any vegan options in jail.
You know what I mean? Speak for the minority. She knew what to do.
They don't have any vegan
Get some
options.
vegan options in these
And
jails,
and
man.
he's
Come
gonna
on.
be sick because they don't have any vegan options for him.
Get some vegan option in these jails. They ain't got no PB&J in jail.
Listen, they just trying to keep the PB&J out there. Okay.
People's putting PB and you know what? That's a different conversation.
It really is.
But do you
Yeah.
see how all of this is all intertwined? Because all of this had to do with social media and how people were radicalized or they were incentivized on social media.
So is it social media that's the issue, or the way people are using it? Kind of like
Social media, man.
the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of attention on social media
Is the root of all evil.
Nah.
or is it just social media in general?
We're put in a place of unnatural state. It's too many stimuli for the human brain to even process. If you put having a phone even is rooted in just addiction. Think about how many addictions you I don't know what the word is. You go through a day. You have addictions to your phone. You have addictions to coffee. You know what I'm saying? Addictions to whatever outside of just social media. It's too many stimuli for you to just sit down and focus on living. You know what I'm saying? You're worried about who's looking at you, what you look like, what you're posting, what you're not posting, how many likes did you get, what you're doing on online date. You know what I'm saying? It's your apps, who's texting you, calls. It's just so many different things that play a part in not just your self-esteem, but your behavior on a daily basis.
Like Noe said, that love of money, the love of it or the obsession with it becomes, and because of the fact that we're not, a lot of us are not mentally strong enough to fight the daily push for it. Because before the phone, it was TV. Those commercials were orchestrated like nobody. The commercials made you want a Big Mac. You knew that you were had an intolerance to beef, but when you saw those golden arches, you was like, I gotta have it. Now you know you got high cholesterol, but when you saw those fries and how they just into that red container, it's like, wow.
It's actually funny because when stuff like that would happen, the first thing people would be like, "It don't really look like that when we buy it. Don't even worry about it."
It really doesn't.
Yo, we should go get some Big Macs. Nah, because when I get mine, it's not gonna look like that. So I don't even want it.
The bread be all fluffed and buttery.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
The chicken look like chicken.
Yeah. Not like chicken, no.
Yo, you open up that wrapper when you come out of McDonald's, it look like somebody done stepped on it with a Timberland. Yo, it's just not a good look. It's not a good look.
Wait. Speaking of not a good look and social media and fast food, did you see the fool that literally vandalized Subways? Stepped on bread and all this stuff and said, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get on because I'm trying to get this record deal. Did you see him?
No, I didn't, but I feel him. That's hard.
Yes,
Subways is the place to do that.
He
for
did
real.
all of that so that I think he wanted to get on Meek Mill's label, but he was like, and he recorded himself.
Absolutely.
Doing it. You know, he's
not a boy.
You know, put it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
If this is what I got to do to get on, this is what I'm gonna do. Now, not once did he spit a hot 16.
Granted,
not once.
It's either you rant or you spit. He ranted.
So who at this moment right now would we say runs social media? Would it be the baby boomers, the millennials?
Y'all Gen Zers. It's
the
them Gen Zers. Them Gen Zers, because they the ones that got that cancel culture on lock.
I don't think anybody runs social media, mainly because there's so many volumes of, it's a high volume of people, so that is able to produce a high volume of different pockets within social media, because you can have different influences in different categories, like influencers in makeup or modeling, like a Kim K, or somebody who does gaming, they have millions of followers, or somebody that does sports, they have millions of followers. You know what I'm saying? So each pocket controls each pocket, essentially. It's like cliques in high school, but on
No,
a
but I
macro
think he's
scale.
talking more so about who is the one that is regulating what goes down.
Because when you look at a lot of the
Nobody.
stuff that happens, and when you're talking about access to things, and like you rob somebody and then you post it on social media, you wearing the chain, that is absolutely not something that baby boomers are doing. That's
And
not
if baby
something.
boomers have done it, they needed to be admitted. But
There's a lot of y'all baby boomers that's trying to figure it out still, though, and y'all look
you're
crazy.
absolutely right.
And
Everybody's
that,
trying to
but,
figure it
but
out.
that's kind of the thing, though, right? So you have the younger generation who's on social media and they doing everything because essentially y'all grew up in a time where all you know is social media.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, you know, the millennials and the baby boomers who are like, we're well aware of life outside of social media. So outside of those who are in the public eye to that level, for us, it's still like, this doesn't, like, I don't really post on social media much at all. But
At all. I
I
don't ever
might,
see anything from you.
like, I remember I was posting like my wedding pictures and all that other stuff. And even that, I was kind of like,
You know what? Delete.
yeah, I was just like, do I really want to post this? I was just
You
like,
post something
whatever.
when Nas dropped.
Yeah, I posted the album cover or whatever. But that's it. I mean, it's very insignificant things, but again, I'll post it and not once am I going, like, even when I post the stuff and I'm clearing out, like, people start liking it or whatever, I have never gone into it and been like, yo, how many likes did I get on this? Or what did this person say about this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just doesn't matter to me. It's just one of those things where I'm just like, whatever.
You don't care. Yeah.
I like those things because I'm not posting it for the likes. It's kind of just like, yo, I'm just trying to share a great moment that, you know, I couldn't invite all of y'all to this moment. So those who I couldn't invite, here's just a taste of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. But forever, I feel like just the problem with social media in regards to just the Gen Zers is because kids grow up with it from the time they are like 7, 8, 9 years old. You know, it's a different time than when we grew up. They need cell phones for whatever. I still don't know the reason why they need cell phones, but they need cell phones, whatever. But they have it, they're on social media, and it's so much access with so little life experience that when things seem to be crumbling down, they don't know how to respond to it. And then they run around and it's just like, oh, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I know this and this. Things go like this. It's like, look, that's not actually the way the world works. Don't let it fool you. And it's hard to tell them that because they're consumed by it. All their friends are doing it. And
Yeah.
not only their friends, but then the celebrities and all. But this person does this and this person, yeah, you just don't understand it. I don't understand how this person does. You don't understand because you don't have the life experience. You haven't lived enough to understand what that means. So it's just so much exposure to stuff, and then it's like this kid's brain is not ready for this yet. And then when people are like, "Oh, these kids are saying this, and kids are acting this way," and kids overexposure.
Yep.
They don't understand, like, this is not a literal thing. You shouldn't actually do that. You shouldn't actually post that. You can't understand it.
Did you hear about the challenge? Because you know everything is now with the challenges.
These
And
kids
they
were
had
eating
that
Tide Pods.
Yeah, exactly. It was the challenge to slap a teacher. And there was one kid that actually did it. I forgot what state
Nah, I need
it
that
was
video.
in, but you had our
Was
teachers.
it backhand or front hand?
You had our teachers making videos saying, listen, I'm from the Nuck If You Buck era. You know, you
That's
can
hard.
try it if you want, but it may not be beneficial to you at the end. But some kids was taking it literal, and it was actually the one that I heard about recently that actually slapped the teacher.
That's hard.
Like, yeah, it's something like that where you like, what do you say to your kid as a parent when they come home to say you slapped your teacher? Why? It was a challenge.
That's
And
the
you
one good thing about
thought,
social media. We gonna get these jokes off. We gonna get these jokes off, bro.
like it's almost confusing. They used to be sitting there looking at it like, all right, these kids is drinking bleach, slapping teachers, all for the hashtag.
All for the hashtag.
We gonna get these
They were
jokes off.
setting itself on fire.
What?
Yo,
The
that crate challenge.
The crate challenge.
Yo, people were getting folded off those crates. I couldn't. I was like, yo, time out. First of all, where I get them crates from? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's a
Who still
fact.
has milk crates?
That's a fact.
Only people I know that got milk crates is the ones that still DJing, that still keep they LPs in the crate. Those are only, and I think that my brother's the only one in the tri-state area.
I don't even know if my father has crates anymore.
Let me tell you something. Y'all people, y'all are funny, but y'all need to get your entire life together, because you're gonna do something to the wrong person.
That's been happening, bro. They've been doing these pranks on YouTube, and they, you know, do it to the wrong dude on the street, and it don't end well.
Like the little boy, it was a little boy that tried to steal an OG car.
Oh,
I
pulled
saw
the gun on him.
that, and he pulled up on him with the 9.
And he was like, "Call the cops, please, just call the cops." He would rather get arrested.
You should have pistol whipped him at least once.
Sometimes you gotta Nino
Right.
Brown him.
Yeah, I saw that video. I was just like, first of all, you're trying to steal somebody's car at the gas station. What are you doing? You gonna try and steal my car right in front of me?
He said he was on a line trying to get some ribs. And the way he was talking, you could tell he'd been through some things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going here to bring it up as a topic, but see, this is what I'm saying. Like, I kind of wish that I would have just went to the verses with KRS and Kane, 2 top 5s in one, because it's a different vibe. The verses, even Fat Joe was just like the verses with your boys, Chris the Locks, and
Dipset.
what people's
What is
Chris
happening
Peoples
right now?
Fat Joe was just like, in that verses, niggas was in the bathroom shooting dice, so he thought it was gonna be like the same vibe for this one. He said he came to this one, he was just like, nah, niggas was in button ups, like they knew how to act. It was a different crowd, because we just a different type of crowd. When KRS brought out the Beat Boys, who looked like they had hard lives.
The Beach Boys.
The B-Boys. They looked like they had hard lives. I wanted to go and find my shell top Adidas and get a cardboard box and spin. I didn't want to do anything negative. I didn't want to punch nobody in the face. I didn't want to shoot nobody. Didn't want to slap nobody. I wanted to spit a hot 16. Okay?
That was a good verses, by the way.
That was a bomb versus. I was in Instagram commenting the whole time.
You're one of them right now. What were you saying?
What was I saying? When DJ Scratch. It was Ain't No Half Step, because that's my all-time favorite Big Daddy Kane song. I can go from the top to the bottom, okay? And he was just like, Friday the 13th, I'm play chasing. Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th. And he went down. Went underneath the turntables. Why he was still scratching? Because DJs now, they just have their headphones and their Apple MacBook and a speaker. And then the program does all the work for them. But no, he was on the ones and twos, and he was going back and forth from turntable. I'm playing Jason. And then he disappeared while he was still scratching. Came up with the Jason mask. And he was like, I'm gonna play Jason. So he was playing Jason as he was playing Jason. I literally lost my mind. But see, y'all, because I was yelling and you was sitting like.
Sounds like me.
You know what I'm saying? Red Alert came out on South Bronx. That's number one. Now, I don't know if you listen to Red Alert on the weekends on BLS, but you could tell that Red Alert does not have a top or bottom row of teeth. Okay? But he came, when Red Alert came out on that track, I was like, that's my miss. Even though you can tell that the spit was going past the lips and onto the mic.
Taking it one tooth at a time.
I've always been a huge fan and respecter of KRS because he just exudes kingship. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Kane. yeah.
What they do?
I'm not doing this with you. You're not gonna make fun of me.
I just didn't see what you did.
Celebrating my era.
I didn't see what you did.
Those were BDBs.
The Zoom call did this glitch thing.
Those are BDBs. Because Kane, well, both of them from Brooklyn, but KRS was repping the Bronx. So they both BDBs. Brooklyn and Bronx. Okay? But I'm just saying, that era, it's just different. It just hit different. We walk in a room different. We own something that we got different. It's just different.
You sound real proud of where
I am. I wear this hat well. I rep this hat well. I paid the dues to say what I want, when I want, how I want to.
All right.
I'm in total agreement with that. Just throwing that out there.
You want to do the warm it up Kane with me?
I will not be doing that. However, I actually thoroughly enjoyed when KRS did Madism with channel live.
I don't know how to pronounce no name.
Yeah, so they did Madism. That was the dope part. Warm It Up came, obviously, no half stepping. Then when they had the dudes on the side, I came out, I think I went in the bathroom and I came out because I had a plane. And I was just like, yo, these dudes is out here breakdancing. I was just like, oh, they got like a whole, I was like, they got a whole like old school setup going on here. So I was like, this is actually kind of dope. Because I felt like what they were trying to do was, we're going to show you
the
where
essence.
all this, like this is where this stuff comes from. So I was just like, that's kind of dope. Because even like KRS-One, it was just like, yo, I'm not out here with like 50 people. It's just me. Same with Big Daddy Kane. It's like, it's just us. Got the, the B-boys, dancers over here, and that's really it. Number one, I always like when like the artists, they do their lyrics. Like it's not playing in the background. I don't mind if the hook plays in the background, if it's a hot hook. But when it comes like down to their verses, they do their verses or whatever. So I was like, that was dope. And I mean, I overall, because I was texting cats and whatever. We was just in the group chat like, yo, this joint is hot. I was just like, yo, I'm with it. But it just had a different vibe than all the other ones. It just felt like
other ones, yeah.
It wasn't it was weird because it was like it's competition, but it just felt I can't really put my finger on exactly what the difference was, but it was just like, yo, they're competing, but at the same time, it's like you could just tell like it's just a dope performance from both of them. Like they just out there killing it. Like this is what we do. Like they just had that kind of just I'm not even sure what it was, but it was just the vibe was different. It felt complete. Like this is a complete show. Like they got the DJs doing their thing, they rapping, they got the dancers. Like it had just a sense of originality to it, which is also the same thing that you would get from the music. Like this is like we started this. This is what we do. This is what we come from. We're the reason you don't even know, but we're the reason why you're doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it just had that
Originator, but yo, do I hater, perpetrator, but I'm a greater. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, it just had that feeling of just originality, which was dope. It was just like, yeah, this is. And then at the same time, for me, I hadn't heard. It's funny. I used to listen to weird. I used to listen to Big Daddy Kane a lot in high school and college all the time. I feel like after that, I kind of like fell off a little bit. So when I seen this coming up, I was just like, oh, word. About to get back into it. I was just like, this is dope. So yeah, I definitely I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for sure. It was actually dope too when KRS-One and Big. But I guess they were both telling a story where they were kind of talking. I didn't even know they were close like that.
Yes, I think that's what you were saying, Noe, about it's different because they was battling. They definitely was battling. They wasn't holding no shorts. You know, like even when Kane came back and was just like, nigga, you're welcome. Be glad I ain't pay you back for that situation with Shan. You're welcome. There was beef there, and they were opponents. They were definitely opponents. They wasn't trying to take it easy and, be politically correct so they don't hurt anyone's feelings. They wasn't doing that. They went full in. They showed you who they were, what they did. And then at the end, they was just like, yo, this is my brother. I love this brother. What can you do besides applaud these brothers and be like, this is what hip hop is about? Not all that mumbling and all that other stuff y'all be doing now. That's not it.
Gosh,
no, ma'am. No, sir. What you do? Oh, I spit hot dope rhymes. Sit you down.
And that was actually another thing that was impressive. They knew all the words to all their songs. Like nobody was fumbling lines. It was just, I was like, yo, I don't know how often they perform on stage, but to still know all the words like that to where it's just your voice, they're not even playing the ad libs of the words in the background. I was like, yo, that's impressive.
They tour all the time.
Still?
The time.
Oh, okay.
So, what's the takeaways from this all over the place debate?
Well, I think
social media is the devil. Kyrie Irving is not of the mind. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. COVID is out here doing COVID stuff.
COVID is COVIDing.
COVID is COVIDing.
Kyrie has the right to do whatever it is he wants. I think if you're going to voice your opinion and reason, I think you should be clear about what it is you're doing, though, and why you're doing it. It's just not that he owes an explanation, but nobody told you to do an Instagram Live. You chose to do that. So if you're going to explain yourself, I just think you should be clear with what it is you're saying. And I don't think he was all that clear about it. But he's 1000% open to do whatever he wants. Well, I shouldn't say open to do, well within his right to do whatever he wants.
Well, I'm sure there's 100 Kyries that's trying to come up through them ranks and secure that bag and secure that spot. Just saying. I mean, he's talented, but he ain't the only talent.
So if you're one of those people who are anti-vax and anti-this and whatever, so you just go around doing whatever you want, how you want, when you want, then it's just like, and I think people look at certain things like one thinking that these vaccination cards and all this stuff is something new. This has vaccine cards and all that stuff has been around since the early 1900s. This is nothing new. Like vaccinations are new. You need them if you want to
Was
go to
it the
Africa.
swine flu?
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need to get vaccinated. If you want to travel to certain countries, you're gonna need to get vaccinated. Chicken pox don't even exist anymore.
Yep.
Vaccinations. I mean, it's just, I understand the thought and the idea that the government has done shady stuff to the Black community and to just America as a whole. You know, the government can be shady, but sometimes it's just like, hey, look, not even they can control certain things. It's just like we just got to do whatever we got to do to fix it.
I just would like to say, for those that don't know, I had said it on a different show, but the very, 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 very first person that created the first vaccine when there was an issue with smallpox back in the 1700s was someone that looks like you and me. Yes, it was. His name was Onesimus. I don't know how it's pronounced. But there was an epidemic of smallpox.
If you got smallpox back then, it was a wrap for you.
Yes. And he
You can hang
created
it up.
he created you can hang it up. He created the very first vaccine. So when you start saying how this is the white man is trying, do your research, fam. Do your research and know that it was for somebody that looked like you and me that was enslaved at the time. That was really enslaved. That created the first vaccine. Okay. But anyway, I don't know what the next topic is going to be, but whatever it may be, it'll be
for debate.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of Up for Debate.
And if like you got your boys with you, somebody's running interference for you real quick. You know what I'm saying? The wingman.
Mhm.
Let's say you get the number, get back home, you're about to shoot a text. What's the opening line from the text in 2021?
Hey.